Okay. Welcome to RuneJammer 2023, Session 3, called Stolen Resources, a Warp Shell adventure created by me. Um, so this adventure, the touch points for this adventure are kind of like Dune, um, in that it's in space. There's an Imperium, and there's a desert planet. Uh, and you're on this desert planet, and the desert planet is called Sirocco. Uh, you're in a tiny pub inside of a small village, um, but the small village has an imperial presence. So let's go ahead and draw some index cards. Um, this small village system methods cards horizontal. It's gonna kind of look like a place out of Tatooine. So you're inside of this small desert pub on the planet of Sirocco, spelled Sirocco. Uh, and you're sitting at a table with a gentleman who is kind of looking around and fidgeting with his food, and like what kind of stuff would you normally get if you were at a tavern or a restaurant? Not a restaurant, but like a small pub or a tavern or something like that. Something kind of dark, something kind of mellow. What would you normally get to eat at that kind of a place?
Well, probably some kind of alcoholic, some beer or something similar.
Some local brew.
Uh, yes, some local brew together with some small chips or some finger food, probably.
Okay. Yeah, he sits across from you with what would normally be a local delicacy. I'm imagining like rice with grapes and uh maybe some other spices and other stuff inside of it. But he's just kind of noodling around with it, and he looks up at you and he says, "Zarek, I think that's your character's name. Did you give your character
Yes.
name?" Okay.
Let's go with Zrak, yes.
Okay. Uh, Zarek, uh, I I know you're here for the mission. I was hoping we could just talk, but it's just eating me up. Unlike me and this food, I just can't deal with it. Uh, I, you know that I have a mission for you, and what I need you to do is go to this planet called Yahoo and retrieve this relic. And he hands you a printout of what looks like a floating egg that is made out of some sort of glass or translucent stone that is an egg shape at the bottom that goes into a flame at the top. And he says, I need you to retrieve this relic and bring it back. The properties of this crystal, the relic, are the catalyst that we need to be able to kickstart our ecology on this planet of Sirocco and finally drive out the Imperium's rule from us so we can reclaim our planet and live free of the Imperium. Uh, as you know, uh, the planet is technically under siege, um, and it's going to be protected by Imperium blockades and stuff. However, I need you. That's why you're here. You're the best. I need you to get your ship off planet and get to this planet Yahoo and get this relic. The civilization is long past. However, it's in a dungeon. I won't call it a dungeon, but it's in a a secret place, a place that was once held for relics of this sort, important artifacts to them. They foolishly worshipped it as a idol of sorts, one that would help them be protected from the wrath of their gods. But lo and behold, they're a dead people now. Looters have picked the planet, but none of them have found the relic yet. But I know where it is. I know where the relic is. Do you trust me?
Of course, I trust you, but but do do you think that my expertise is enough to go there and retrieve it? It seems like a very dangerous opportunity for just one person.
See
But
that's the key. You're just one person. No one's gonna expect one person. They always expect 3 to 4, maybe 6 people to go. But if it's just one person, you can slip in and slip out.
Drax thinks a little bit about it. Well, if you say if you put it in this way, for sure, I my abilities will be more at ease without anyone that can't follow me. So, do question do we already have some means of transportation to the planet or
Yes, you actually have a ship. It's a relatively small ship, but it is a ship. It can hold up to 4 other people. There's enough room for 4 people, and it has a small cargo hold for a small speeder bike of sorts, or a bike in general. Um, it can go. It does have faster than light travel, or what did I call it? Fold space travel. So you do have the ability to jump from place to place. This will be in a different system. Um, and you know this because he hands you that printout. And it has the information that you would feed into your computer, coordinates, the picture of the relic, and the proposed site of where it is going to be. And he looks at you and says, "I know this is a lot to go on, lot to trust me on, and I can pay you handsomely. Give you half now and double when you get back. So you'll be making almost 1.5 of the promised uh, original payout. Um, but for me, this is about saving my planet."
uh, Drac looks around and out of the nearby window to the sandy dunes. Well, I'm not from this planet, but I can understand the feeling. And yeah, you are asking me a lot, but I think if this object is capable of doing this, like you said, uh, it's going to help a lot of a lot of planets. No, no, not only this one. So I think it's worth it.
I'm glad that you agree. And he reaches over to grab your hand and shake it.
I shake it.
And he puts both of his hands around it and says, "Thank you, son. Thank you. You're much appreciated." Cat is over here just yelling at me. Uh, so, uh, yeah. Now it's up to you to leave and figure out what to do and all that stuff. Do you want to leave right now, or do you want to wait till morning? Do you want to? What do you want to do?
What do we know about the situation of the blockade?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
The what do we know about the situation about the blockage of
So you
of the
know that there's a couple
planet?
patrols that go by in orbit. If you wait long enough and stare up long enough, you might see a couple large ships slowly patrol through the the daytime sky and the night sky. However, you can't see the small fighters that encircle them or in house and stuff like that. There are other smaller patrols, but if you give me a intelligence check for navigation.
Okay, not the best.
No, you don't have anything in intelligence?
Nope,
Dang.
big fat zero.
Uh, okay, we can work with that. So given you won't know anything right now, you'll have to spend the night in your ship and perform some uh, calculations, or you'll have to find some data lying around. Maybe you can get some data from locals or something like that about Imperial patrols and find a hole to slip through, or maybe there's like a shift change or something like that.
Okay, yes. I don't know if there is some kind of local communication place for these Imperials where I could maybe find some of these data.
Are you asking the quest giver?
The DM.
Okay.
Oh, well, your choice. I think it's fine. It's fine either way.
Okay. He looks around and he says, "I didn't tell you this, but the local port authority should be showing up here anytime soon, and she usually will have a drink of 2 fingers of the local grog, and then go back to her barracks, waiting for a shift change. She's usually pretty on the dot, pretty stern. She may or may not have information on her, or be able to get you into the location."
Well, this could be a good, a good source of information on the Imperials, both for the blockage. I don't
Yep,
remember the
blockade.
English. Blockade. Thank you. And maybe I could find some info on the planet Yolu. The pronunciation correct? Yolu, like this.
Um, I'm sorry. Say that last word again.
The planet
Oh,
Yalu, Yolu,
Yahoo. Got it. I'm sorry.
Yahoo. Yeah, I wrote it in the chat just to be sure about how it's written.
I will write that down in just a second. Uh, Destination Yahoo.
Okay, thank you. I totally, I totally wrote it wrong. Um, okay, so but it could be a lead. And is she usually here in the evening?
Yep, she will be here in probably 15 minutes. Um, so yeah.
Well, I think I can take it from here. I don't want you to be found with me if anything goes wrong.
Okay. And he nods his head at you, kind of looks around, pushes his plate away, and then scoots out, bows his head slightly, and then makes it straight for the door.
So once Jack is alone, he continues to to drink and be like drink and eat while waiting for the officer, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, as soon as she's seen, uh, yeah, right. I think you will probably try to look at some possible information hanging, some keys, some datapad, something hanging from her, or that can be stolen.
Um, Give me a wisdom check for notice. Dang. Okay, there we go. So, I'm going to use this as a yes/no answer, and you did. You do see that there is something hanging off of her belt. It looks like a small cylinder. Uh, Typically, those are code cylinders of sorts. Um, you would insert it into the computer, and then you would give it authorization and stuff like that, and then it would give you access to whatever is on that computer. So it is a code cylinder, but it does require extra access or like extra verification, such as voice authorization, biometrics, or retinal scan.
Okay. So yeah, I think yeah, Draco tries to approach approach her like for some kind of romantic hookup, or trying to get her to talk and start a conversation.
Okay. So as you approach, she is at the bar, just eyeballing her drink, looking around at the wall, and goes back to her drink every once in a while. And sometimes she'll look to her left and her right, and then she'll drink out of her cup and then put it back down. You notice that she puts her hand on the top of the cup whenever she's not drinking out of it, and you notice that she's just kind of alone. No one really bothers her.
Okay. So yeah, Track continues to like, so he sits next to her on the on the table next. I guess she's at the bar itself.
Say it again. I'm sorry, the last part.
Um, I guess she's at the at the bar, or is she as at the table?
Oh, she's at
How?
the bar.
Okay.
She's at the bar. So you both are sitting at the bar, and anybody who's looking would be like, "Yeah, that guy's trying to make some moves." But you know, you're just trying to find a seat, and that happens to be the place where you sat. Um, so when you sit down, she kind of gives you the side eye, slides her glass over the other hand that's on the opposite of her from you, and she picks it up to go to drink out of it, and she says, "Rough day, huh?"
Oh, you don't tell me. Still getting used to this planet with all this sand. And you?
Oh, I've been here for about 2 years. I'm ready to get off this hole. I wish the I wish the Imperials would leave. I don't even want to work for them. I just happen to live here and I got a job because I knew a guy who knew a guy, and I wish I could just not have to deal with the Empire anymore.
Well, I guess you, like everyone else, you need to find something to live by. So,
Yep, codes and standards. She raises her glass up. Standards are the only thing that keep me going.
and so you've been 2 years here with all this heat, this sand, this well, let's avoid commenting on the quality of life in general here.
Yep. And she starts to like kind of agree with you. Make a charisma roll. Um,
Ouch. Another.
I was gonna say
Okay.
let's make it hard, but you just crushed it. So, uh, as you two are talking, she does seem to warm up to you. She does turn her shoulders towards you and gives you the body language of I'm actually paying attention to what you're saying. Yes, I acknowledge that you're sitting next to me and stuff. And uh, so when she does turn her shoulders and stuff, you get a glance at her name tag, and it happens to say Jansen. I'll put that in the chat.
Thank you. Let me see if I write it correctly. Yes. Thank you, Lieutenant Jensen. And so while talking, I continued to drink to push her to continue drinking, and yeah, the idea is to get her as drunk as possible.
Sure. With that roll, you definitely normally she only has one or two drinks. I want you to roll a d6 for effort, and that's gonna be how many extra after two that she's had.
Okay, so weapon and tool roll basically.
Yep, just roll a d6.
Okay, alone without the it's
Oh,
a d6 by itself,
oh,
or a d6 with the effort from weapon
do it
and
as an
tools.
effort roll.
Okay, so okay.
Bam. Okay. So she's 10 glasses in. That's 10 fingers deep, man. That's a she's getting there to the point where she's starting to slur her R's a little bit. She's starting to mix words, and when she looks at you, you can't tell if she's looking at the wall behind you or at your forehead. Um, and so when she kind of like starts talking about how her day is going, she slumps down on her forearms and puts her chest on the table, her forearms on the table, and puts her chin on her forearms and is like, like I said, I just wish the Empire would go. I'm done with it.
I can understand, and I start to gesture in a frustrated way. Like it's all this need for control, need for fear and everything to keep everyone from doing trouble.
She
Can
turns she turns her head and faces away from you, still on her forearms, and says, "Yeah, fear, control."
but seems like you've drunk enough for today. What do you have a place where you stay usually? I think we
Yeah,
can
I
go.
I can call a transport and have them come pick me up and take me back to the barracks near the spaceport.
So you basically live and work at the same spot at the same place.
Well, not in the same building, it's gonna be the same area. There's a barracks nearby, and it's just across the walkway. That way, we have some semblance of sep, and she just starts like kind of stuttering her words. She's like separation of work and fun, you know, like normal people. And she like just kind of she reaches into her pocket to start like fumbling for her phone or her communication device to try and like get somebody to give her a ride back.
I stop her with like blocking her end. But are you sure you want to call with with your with the situation with the current situation? Because I don't know, aren't they getting angry or something for seeing you drunk?
Well, no one gets angry if they don't know. Wink.
But yeah, for real, I can accompany you. Shouldn't be too much of a walk.
Okay, you're fine. You're fine. I'm right. Let's go. Fine. You're right. Or I'm right. You're one of us is fine and the other one's right. Doesn't
We were
matter.
both right.
Yeah. Let let's I need to go home. I stayed out too late. Let's go. So yeah, you guys happen to make your way out of the tavern here, or the local establishment, and we'll hide that and put this over here. Um, so you make your way to the spaceport, and as you do, you see the building that she normally would reside in during the night and stuff, and during the time off when she gets. And it it's got like one or two lights out front. There's a couple lights on there, like on the second or third floor. And she looks to you and says, "Well, this is this is my spot, Zarek. Uh, I gotta go to bed. I wish you luck, and yeah, good luck." If you want to
Yeah,
try and make a sleight of hand check to
yes,
grab that code cylinder, you totally
yes.
can.
That's the idea.
Okay. Sorry. I was waiting for you to just be like, "I'm gonna grab it from her," instead of like, "I'm gonna get her blasted and walk her home."
No, no, no. It's so the idea is to grab her cylinder,
Okay.
and yeah, I was hoping to somehow bring her inside for the voice, for the voice key,
Okay.
but
Um.
I she doesn't
So
seem capable, so
if
I yeah, yeah, cool.
propose to me a solution of how you would convince her to get into the space station, or the not space station, the spaceport.
I was thinking on combining her inside the apartment, and then uh, after a few minutes, wake her up and let her like believe that she's due to go to work, or she has the shift for work, so that she goes in autopilot, let's say, and just enters inside, and I can follow her, maybe invisible.
Okay. Let's do another charisma check. This time we'll do it with um normal. Actually, no. This will still be a hard difficulty check, just because I don't know. Whenever somebody's like, "Hey, can I come inside?" Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. Wow. It's zero
uh,
charisma. And, it's going well.
it's going very well. She must be kind of starving for someone to talk to that doesn't like like the Empire and stuff. So she says, "You know what? You don't like the Empire? I don't like the Empire." She yells a curse out into the distance. "Yeah, screw these people. Come on. I want to show you some stuff." So she goes into her apartment, and it's like, I don't know if you ever been to a college dorm or actual barracks, but like the the
No.
way I imagine it is kind of like an apartment where you go in the front door, and then there's hallways inside, and then they lead to in doors to the apartment, but the windows are always facing out and stuff instead of facing inward. So when you make it in, it's kind of like you hear noise, you hear other things, and then there's a room for her down the hall, and it's facing outwards on the second floor. Um, yeah.
Okay.
So there's other people around and stuff, but she leads you into her area, and she's like, "Yeah, check this out. I got this from an Imperial." And she starts like showing you things around her room and stuff, of like places she's been, people she's talked to, and she sits down for a little bit and was kind of talking and looking, and then like she put her hand down on the table and stopped moving. She's still alive.
Uh, is she asleep?
Uh, you can look.
yeah, I check on her just to see if it's something more messy.
Yeah, when you walk over to check on her to see if she's like still alive, she's totally alive. She's just kind of like, when you sit at a table and you put your chin on your hand and then you kind of like, she's just snoring into her, kind of like breathing heavily into her hand, but she's asleep at the current moment.
Okay, so she let me inside, so I think I can leave her to sleep.
Okay.
I totally take the cylinder just to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my idea is to I I could use I don't know if I can use the scan unit to basically run a scan and try to also search for the local computers for basically the exact how can I say the exact I don't remember the word in English, but basically the exact the patrol timings for
Oh,
the
yep.
blockade
The
of
schedule.
the schedule. Thank you.
Yeah, you could do that. Sure. Uh, I imagine it kind of like a tricorder from Star Wars, or not Star Wars, one of those Star movies. Star Trek, the tricorder from Star Trek, where they just kind of point their point their TV remote at something, say they're scanning it, and they got it. So you aim your scan unit at the code cylinder. You download the codes, and then you can probably use that to do other things. She doesn't have a computer in her room. Um, that's gonna have to be somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah. Now that I think of it, a good idea would have been to register her voice, but too late. Okay. The simplest thing are the hardest. Okay. So yeah, I turn invisible and try to look around the building to search for some kind of control room or something where I can expect some type of access to this more not classified but more sensitive information.
um, you probably won't find it in the barracks. You do know across the street you will find it. Um, since you're in her room and you've got ample amounts of time, uh, you don't have to roll to go invisible. You just do. Um, so you're invisible, and you don't find any kind of terminal for that kind of business on this side of on this side of the street. It will most likely be in the building across the street, the spaceport.
Okay, so yeah, uh, at this point I try to go with the original plan to like wake her up and get her to go to enter in the spaceport facility,
Okay.
and I try to follow her invisible. Basically, that's the idea of the plan.
Okay. How do you want to get her to go into the facility? Like, fake a message, send an alert, or I could see like
Uh,
faking a message or
yeah,
something.
yeah, that yeah, it's better because I was thinking on triggering the alarm so everyone goes inside to clean it but it's not exactly the best. It's a little bit risky. So yeah,
Sure.
it's going for yeah. I if I can if I can fake a message to her communicator whatever. Yes, it's like I'm sure this that ask in a meeting for her entire unit that she probably spoke about during the conversation at the bar at the tavern.
Okay. Yeah, I see that as totally doable. Um, uh, I think it. you probably have the technology or you have the know-how being an infiltrator of sorts. This is your specialty. You would probably have the ability to send a message or get communications and stuff. So I would imagine that you have the ability to send a fake message to her communicator, which she does receive, and you see it light up and it goes boot, 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 like an old Nokia phone. Boot, and she groggily rolls over, looks at it, and goes, says some words under her breath, and sits up, uh, looks around, puts her shirt back on, or not her shirt, but like, her jacket and tunic and stuff, and gets up and drinks a bottle of water and starts heading over towards the building across the street.
Okay, yeah, I follow her like 1 meter behind her just to be safe from eventual improvised sudden movement from her, but close enough that if she goes through some limited, how can I say, some limited
Limited access areas.
yes, I can follow her quickly without remaining behind.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. Uh, so yeah, you she starts walking. She starts going across the street, and she's looking around like, why am I the only one going to work? This is some bullshit. And so she goes across, puts her hand on the door. It goes bzzz, and then the door goes shoo, slides open, and she proceeds to go in the door. Uh, for this is a risky action, and I'm going to ask you to make a dex check at the current target of 10.
Okay,
Dang.
nice.
Ah,
It's it's a lucky evening.
you need to save these, man. Save all these good rolls. The last one of the last tables I had, they were just not getting any good rolls, and we had a lot of natural ones, just not any good. Okay, so you're able to kind of slide in behind her. She doesn't notice a thing, and she walks down a hall. The night shifts are there, the cleaning people are there, and stuff like that. Um, she turns to go into the in a room that is overlooking the spaceport. And when you see her go into that room, you see your ship in the spaceport. And yeah, there's a light patrol, not patrol, but like the night guard are in the spaceport and stuff. But then there's a couple control people in the control room with her, and she goes in and she looks around and looks at them. They look at her, and she's like, "Go back to work. I'm here to meet the officer on duty." And she's in the control room, which is overlooking the spaceport, so you can see your ship. I will draw a picture.
Okay.
Also, just really like drawing pictures.
Yeah, the doodle module there, I don't remember the name. It's extremely useful.
So we have,
It's called the sketch tiles, I think.
yep, sketch tiles, spaceport, and then your little ship is in there. We'll call it this. Trying to not to make it look like add some wings to it so it doesn't look like a giant, inappropriate doohickey. Uh, so then we got the control area, and we got some buttons on a panel, and then a person with long hair kind of standing here and looking over. That's hair. You can say that's hair. And she's just kind of overlooking the ship at her control panel, waiting for the officer on duty to show up and give her the debrief as, or give her the briefing as per what the message that you faked was. So I'm going to say you have 1d4 rounds for rounds until officer on duty shows up. You have 2 rounds. So yeah, you got 2 rounds until the officer on duty shows up, and you got a bunch of people in there. You got 2 other people in there. You got Lieutenant Jensen, and she's just waiting. You got the code cylinder data, and now you just need to get her to uh, step away, I guess, and get the patrol data and whatever else you need so you can leave.
Okay. So yeah, I try to I don't know if the on away from the main console, if there is some other type of I don't know, some kind of desktop, the desk or some other smaller console that I can use to make some noise.
Yeah, there are some other consoles behind her. Empty desks of computers and terminals and stuff. This is the night shift, so they don't have the full complement of people. So there are some computers behind you. What do you want to do with those, or how are you doing it?
So I go to one of the consoles and basically I start to use it, and I basically start a small program that blasting music from the speakers of this this computer basically.
Okay, you do that, and she turns around and starts to walk back towards that console, and she's starting to take a look at it. And I'm going to tick down the round timer. So now you got one more round of actions that you can do before the officer on duty shows up.
Okay, and now I go to the main console and try to get the data for the blockade.
Okay.
And if I don't know if I can manage, if I can do a scan for any information on the planet Yaul.
Um, you can. Uh, I'll give that data to you pretty freely. Because if you're in here, you should have access to things. So when you do plug in your data device and you start scanning for stuff, you do get the data about Yahoo, its location, and it correlates with the data you got and the location of the planet and the correlated location of the facility where the relic should be kept. So you do have that data. Um, if you make an intelligence roll and meet or beat a 10, you will also get the patrol data and find a way off this rock.
I have a 0 here, so 50-50. Ah,
Uh, you could probably. I will let you spend a hero die,
yeah, I was thinking exactly this.
because this seems kind of important. And because we're playing one on one, if you roll a natural one, I will give you a hero die, or not a hero die, a hero coin, and you only get one. But anytime you roll a natural one, I'll give you a hero coin.
Okay, so yes, I use the hero coin
Okay, go ahead and reroll.
and roll it. Let's see. Ah, barely, barely better.
Um, you don't necessarily get the patrol data that you need. You got like when the big ship is showing up, but you don't get the smaller ships. So you do have some semblance of patrol data. You don't have like the smaller corvettes or cruisers and stuff like that. You only have the large carriers or battleships and stuff, which is more than you had when you came in with and possibly doable. However, after doing all of that, the timer ticks down and the door slides open, and the officer on duty comes in and is like, Lieutenant Jensen, uh, can you speak with me privately? Gentlemen, can you leave the room? I need to talk to Lieutenant Jensen. And the other two gentlemen in the back get up and leave. And he's like, I did not call for you to come here, Jensen. And he starts talking to her about that kind of stuff and is like confused as to why she's here. What are you doing?
I I tried to I quickly send another message, in the same way, but written like it's a general server error message, basically, that
Okay,
to let her think that the message was an error, but more so it was sent by error, so nothing regarding a security breach.
gotcha. Okay. So her communicator goes buzz buzz, and the officer on duty is like, "Well, you gonna get that? That seems pretty important." And she's like, "Yes, sir." So she looks at it, and it says, "Warning: notification messages sent in error. Please disregard. Uh, Apologies for any mishaps or errors in communication that have occurred." And she rolls her eyes, deeply sighs, and says, "Yes, sir. Seems that our communications staff is having issues again." Then she and the officer on duty leave, and as they're starting to go out the door, you hear her kind of mumble about, of course, good company never sticks around either, does it? Uh, yeah. Her and the officer both leave and head down the hall and go somewhere else. She goes back out the door and back out to her barracks and dormitory area. You are free to
Yeah.
roam. What would you like to do?
Uh, well, I think it's I got what I could, basically.
Hmm.
Actually, no. Can I? I would like to, since I think I have the time, maybe, to retry and gather the rest of the data regarding the patrols,
Okay. Well,
and basically try after that trying to get after her and try to get out with her again if I manage.
okay. So we'll give it an easy roll this time. So you need to be a 7 or higher on an intelligence roll to gather the data that you're trying to get.
Okay, better. Yeah, yeah.
You made it? 8? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Sweet. So by the skin of your teeth, as it goes, you're able to get new records coming in, and you're able to do the math yourself and piece it together that every 15 or 20 minutes there's a gap in between patrols between a certain sector of the planet and a certain region of space above the planet. And if you time it just right at this time of the morning, you should be able to get through unnoticed or minimally detected and be on your way.
Okay, and soon after that, I try to catch up to her and exit with her. And but as soon as I'm out of any gate, I try to fake an encounter with her just outside, not by becoming visible again, just outside the gates, basically.
Okay.
To
You do that, and then she stops and, or she doesn't even stop. She just kind of glances at you and says, "What do you want? I thought you were gone."
gone. In which sense? You asked me to leave you alone. You wanted to sleep, and you went inside
Well, when I woke up, you were gone.
because I'm a gentleman.
Fine. Dang. Why are the good ones always so difficult? Ah, fine. I get it. You're a gentleman. I'm glad that you're a gentleman. I respect it, and I hope more people are like you. We should catch up again tomorrow, if anything. Just right now, I need some sleep. And be a gentleman, and please let me sleep.
Of course. See you tomorrow at the tavern, I guess.
Hopefully. We'll
And
see.
I let her go.
Okay. So she kind of not slinks, but kind of skulks back into her room, tired, hungover, and upset at just. I don't think she's upset at you. Probably just the world and everything at the right time, and you happen to be the closest thing to be angry at. Uh, so yeah. Okay. She doesn't know that you took things from her and all that stuff and used her to get out. What's your next goal?
Next goal is to go to the planet. I don't know if I can. Well, no, I don't think I can buy anything. Just to. I guess the object are these. So yeah, I can. Basically, I will try to go straight for the planet. So I will wait the right time for avoiding the patrols completely,
Okay.
and
Um.
then go to the planet and reach the orbit.
All right. With that information that you got about the patrols, you're able to get out pretty easily. Um, you're able to uh, get to the planet Yahoo, and when you arrive at the planet, um, make a make an intelligence check using your ship scanners to make things easy and add a +2, because boy howdy. Uh,
Okay. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can add the modifier
um,
because if I
yeah,
click, it's
I don't think you can. So you're just gonna have to add it or roll the intelligence, and we'll have to do math ourselves.
okay. Perfect. One.
Well, you got that hero coin back. So go ahead and mark that. Um, man. Uh, the the ship doesn't pick up any signs of uh trouble per se. But you do find the entrance to a dilapidated, crumbling building with Corinth-styled pillars, and it seems to be built into the side of a cliff face, which is pretty interesting.
Can you repeat the first part?
Uh, the ship part, like not finding anything wrong, or making it to the building that was specified.
Okay, no, about the building.
Okay. So when you get to the building, let me get you a new tile here because we're not at this location anymore. Boop. When you get to the building, you see something similar to this. Look, I'm drawing you another picture. So kind of like, for some reason, fancy old buildings like these styles of pillars. roof, and then a doorway in the back, and some steps. So something kind of like that. It's got some pillars in the front, a big open area, and the the sky is kind of a purpley dark black, uh, yellow lightning striking across the sky and stuff, um, roiling clouds. But yeah. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be much. There's some rodents. There's some uh, other local critters and creatures that seem to be in the area, but nothing too big or nothing too dangerous or scary. Um, yeah. So you find this entrance to the building that is holding the facility holding the relic.
Yes. Okay. From the data that I found in the starport regarding this the planet, are there any uh, is there any data regarding the facilities or information regarding that? Or well, in yeah, if there is some info that I found among the data at the starport in general.
Um, Nothing too noticeable. Just that this is a older facility, or the planet was once inhabited by a species of people that were able to uh, do genetic modifications, control weather and stuff, but it seems that um, the weather thing backfired on them, and then they tried to do something genetically altering to the society, and it just didn't work out. Um, yeah, so this is your ship.
Okay. One thing that is not clear for to me, like the entrance is on the side of the cliff. It's okay. Um, is the entrance big enough for the ship, or
No,
it's a
it is not
ship
big
that
enough for a
it's
ship.
outside? Okay.
If you had like a car or a truck, you could probably drive it through there, but it's not big enough for your ship. Um, it's just
Okay.
a little bit too small. But once you like look down the look past the entrance, you see that the hallway narrows up a little bit past a certain point, and we're gonna try something a little fancy here. Put this over here. We're going to draw ourselves building.
Okay. Yeah, but my doubt was more about if it was hangar sized, let's say. Okay, that's clear.
No, it will not
Perfect.
be hangar size. It will not be big enough for you to put your ship in.
Okay. Okay.
That's not what I want. I want this. That's why it worked. Yeah, so you wouldn't really be able to get your ship past there because of the columns and pillars.
Okay. So yeah, I try to put the ship in a not too far away spot and put it in completely stealth mode so that it doesn't get it's not detected by any scans by itself
Okay.
as much
Y
as possible.
you do find kind of an outcropping that you're able to swing your ship in underneath. It's not completely covered, but it does provide substantial cover, and you feel that it's pretty good for hiding your ship.
Okay, and yeah, I approach the entrance by being invisible
Okay.
and try to peek from the entrance itself, trying to peek inside to see the situation.
Okay. So as you peek in, you do see kind of a hallway. It pokes out, and God, cat, I hear you. I'm busy. My cat's like, look at me. So yeah, you look in and you see down here there is a hallway. I don't know why it's red. Oh, I know why it's red, because I made default red instead of black. Change that to be black instead of red. Okay. So you do see the entryway here in front of you. This area here. And then
Okay.
down here is a kind of an entrance or a long hall, and you see some door, like a door here, and then further on you see some crumbling doors here.
Okay. And here there is another door.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I I enter inside the in a very vigilant way to avoid any possible traps, to detect them at least.
Okay. Um.
And yeah,
Yeah, you're fine.
go
You're
ahead.
fine. You're fine.
Okay. And yeah, basically, what I reach for the start of the corridor, and if everything is calm and there is no one, I try to take a look at this door here first.
Go ahead and make a wisdom check for scouting.
Okay, cool, 16.
Nice. So you do hear some um talking or low whispering, which sounds like it's coming from further on down the hall.
Okay,
And as you are standing here, you do see like kind of a door. Here we go. It's not supposed to be like a sickle, but it's just a door.
okay, okay,
But you do hear some talking further on down, um, down here in this area, down this way.
okay. Where there is the blocked door.
So the door is not blocked, but it is destroyed. So there's part of a door here, and then the other part of that door is destroyed and crumbled over. So we'll just kind of make a flat part there and then fill it in.
Okay,
Sure, it's supposed to be filled in, but it did for some reason. Uh,
it's fine.
the other part of that door is crumbled over and on the floor. Um, Probably why you could hear some whispering down in that area.
Okay, and instead this one is partially open.
Yes.
Okay. So I tried to peek at inside this one first, just to see what if there is something that could be
Okay.
useful.
As you enter that room, you do see what looks like um, a cot with some bedding on it that has recently been used. You also see some desiccated um, beds and different other types of bedding. So it looks like this was once an area for sleeping or potentially just other people. one staying here at some other time in the past. But you only see one cot of looking that looks like it's been recently used, and you see a chest at the end of the cot, like a treasure chest type thing, some sort of footlocker.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I try to. I look at the at the chest and just both for anything useful and both for gathering information on the current inhabitants.
Okay, make a strength check to open the. How do you want to open the chest? Do you want to do like do it very gingerly? Do you want to just rip it open? Are you trying to be methodical and whatnot?
I take my time. I would say. Actually, no. I close the door and to try to muffle the noise. And yeah, I try to open it. Yeah, I have a better strength, so yeah,
Okay,
I will.
go ahead
I
and
will go for a strength. So I try to blow it open with the salvage kit, the so some hammer, and try to break it open, break the lock basically.
okay. So go ahead and make a roll at the target, and if you succeed, you do it. If not, we'll figure it out.
Well, nope, 7.
7. Okay, so you are able to open the chest. However, some of the contents inside are damaged. You still, however, will get a roll on uh, a loot table once I figure out where it was. Loot? No, maybe it's in this.
Yeah, there are
Do 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 do. Tables. There we
two
go.
two journals for yeah tables.
Let's go for sci-fi loot. So go ahead, go and roll a D100, and we'll see what the result is.
51.
51 will give you a spell. You get a spell of freeze. I'm gonna open up your character sheet and drag it on there.
Okay.
Freeze. Now it should be under loot and abilities.
Yes, I see it. Mobilize enemies when for rounds. Interesting.
So yeah, you do find a. Uh, it's kind of like a data pad, although it's kind of not at the same time. The screen is very slow. It doesn't refresh as fast as yours, and it doesn't have as many bright colors as what yours has and stuff like that. So it feels inferiorly different, but you do find instructions for a wisdom spell called freeze. So that tells you and me that the people who live here are either knowledge gatherers or they're able to use magic of some sort.
Okay. Yeah. Looks like some kind of research facility more than military facility. Okay. Okay, so I once this is done, I go back to the corridor and go for the crumbled doors.
Okay, I'm going to remove my drawings and we'll make a new drawing. So when you enter the corridor, it is a big black, or not a big black, that's what I'm looking at, is a big black thing. It is a big empty room, except for there are some pillars, which are what I'm drawing. Not that. My cat's upset because mom's upstairs and baby are upstairs, and I'm down here talking to myself. Uh, and
What's
then,
what is wrong with you?
right? And then you see some more double doors down here. It's like a minimum size I can pick. Right in that. There we go. Nope. There we go. So at the end, there's some double doors. However, the whispering is getting louder, and you happen to catch a glimpse of what seems to be a humanoid person walking around and talking to themselves.
Do I understand the language?
Um, I'm gonna say yes, just because they are talking in common. Trying to find a good picture because all of these are like super wacky, super space aliens, and I don't need super wacky space aliens. I need believable people. Let's see what tokens look like. Assets. There we go. Yeah, that guy works. Yeah, there's
It's a
this
big
guy.
guy.
He's getting smaller. Hold on.
Okay, I thought it was really that size.
Oops.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a guy. He's just kind of making a pet. He's just walking around, going back and forth, and he's babbling about something. Whatever a cat is. He's just babbling about cats.
Okay. Uh, I I stay there, like inside the room, but near him, just to understand what he says. I try to wait a little bit just to see if it changes subject or starts to say something intelligible. And yeah, then so I try to wait a minute, and in the meantime, also I try to see if he has any type of informational device on him.
As he passes in front of you, you do happen to notice that his clothes look rather tattered. Probably has been here a while, and his topics involve cats, food, and then why did I ever leave?
Okay. Live. Okay. Do I manage to understand the live from somewhere or
No, he doesn't necessarily say from where. It's just like why did I ever leave home? Why did I come here?
okay.
And he makes this route back and forth, and like it takes about a good 5 to 10 seconds to make it to that side. Stands around and then comes back. Now another 5 to 10 seconds to get to this side. Stands there, scratches his head, kind of does some twitches, and then goes back this way.
Okay. When is at one side basically, so that is partially covered by the columns.
Yep.
I basically jump on him and by so I jump on him by holding him on the on the shoulder basically and pointing at him with the psionic knives, and I drop the invisibility.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's not the right button. There we go. So
I
I'm gonna say
I
you're
try.
probably like right there, and when you do that, he snaps out of it and is like, oh, uh, uh, and then he just doesn't get words out of his mouth because he's so surprised that someone else has showed up.
I sign to him with pointing like by putting a finger on top of my like the
The
I
shush
remember the
noise.
Yes, exactly. I don't remember the name of the finger. But yeah, I send him to be quiet and say if you don't scream, if you don't cause troubles, you get to leave.
I, I did a,
Deal?
I, 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 I've been silent for so long. I just need to talk to someone.
What are you doing here? Who are you?
My team, my people, my I came here to find something, but I got stuck and they left and I was left here. They left me. They left me. Oh God, they left me. And he just like starts crying and blubbering. But then the others showed up and they threatened to kill me. Didn't even give me a chance. I just ran and I ran and I don't know where to go. This is the only place I know.
Who are these others? Were they your friends?
No, my friends are long gone. These look like soldiers of fortune. These look like relic hunters. These look like people who come to pillage, kill, take.
And where did they say what they were searching for?
They only asked if I knew of a device. I don't know of any device. I came here to learn language. I came here to study a culture long gone. But it seems like I'm gonna be the one that's long gone.
Listen, I can help you. We can avenge your friends, but you got to help me.
Okay.
I need you I need you to give as much information as possible on how many are there, if they are if they have any special equipment, something dangerous. This the floor plan of this place. I can avenge them.
Well, the people, the last batch of people that I've seen, they there's there's four of them. Three of them with guns and one with like a flashlight. It just kind of seemed like the leader, real scary, real tough, always shouting, just shouting all the time.
And regarding this facility, are there any systems that are still functioning? Something that can be used against them?
No, this facility is much too old, much too primitive. There's no electricity here, or I would have called for help. Most of my technology has died. The battery hasn't lasted that long, and no way to recharge it. I don't have any way to capture the lightning. I don't have any way to call for help. Could you could, could we just leave, please? I don't want to be here.
I can give you a guarantee that you will leave, whether or not I came out. And so I from my bag I take a small device, some wireless device
Hmm.
that can basically the idea is that I give him this device that if after a certain timer I'm not returned, he can use it to unlock the ship and go away.
Okay, cool.
And I put it for like 12 hours just to
Just in
be
case.
just in case.
Okay, sounds like a good deal. And he takes it and he's like, "Thank you. I will wait in my room. I will go to my room. Yes, I will go to my room. Please don't leave me. I really want to leave." Uh, and he just kind of stands there and like holds your hand and like holds the device, and he's like, "Please don't leave me. Please don't leave."
Don't worry. If I don't manage to avenge your friends, you have your key to escape here.
Give me a charisma roll, and if you succeed, he will uh make his way down to his room and wait for you there.
Okay. 5.
Ugh. Okay. So he doesn't seem to budge, but he's not actively making noise, and he's like, "I'll wait. I will wait. I will wait."
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but yeah, I leave him. I leave him be. So I said I will be back. The these keys will unlock in a few hours. So in any case, you are safe. Just stay here, stay put, or or stay outside.
Okay.
And
Okay.
said that, I start to go towards these double doors and go back invisible.
Um. So as you do, you go invisible, and when you push the doors, um, at first they're kind of difficult. There's kind of a creak, but then they open with no sound whatsoever, and you see a stairwell that goes down the middle, and then you go out to either side of the stairwell to go down to the next level. Um, Let me get you a new drawing. Gonna take it. No, ain't gonna take it. That's the one I want. And he can disappear because he's gonna wait for you. So now, as you go down the stairs, you come into a room that is again a rectangle. But then you see, oops, there are, dang it, and we copy paste. There are two statues in the middle of this room, and that's not you. And you're coming in right about here,
Okay.
and let's insert some lights just because. There's a sconce of light here and a sconce of light there, and you see another door. You can't see the sconces of light. Yeah, so there's like almost historic medieval or historic Earth history torches on these walls, but they're giving off kind of a faint blue light, something that looks like natural magic, natural or magical lights of some sort. But then again, when you come down here, I need you to give me a wisdom check, and I'm going to search for a tile.
Okay. 15.
15 is enough. You detect um, a person who seems to be doing a patrol, and they're not that big.
All huge guys.
You happen to see a guy kind of looking at the back end of this statue here, or it's not the back end. There's two statues, and this guy is looking at this statue here, um, but he's not touching it yet, and he's just looking around. The only place that you see that you can go is this doorway over here, which is currently shut.
Okay. Um, what what the statues look like?
The statues look like two humanoid people with their hands put together and outstretched, um, looking like they're wanting to receive an offering of some sort. Um, so they have like cupped hands and holding out at their chest level. The statues are about 8 foot tall.
Okay. Okay. So and the guy seems to be studying them only.
Yes. So with your wisdom roll for checks, you do see the guy. You also see on his uniform, or yeah, on their uniform, symbols that look like they belong to some sort of private military company, or they could be those mercenaries that uh, the guy in the previous room was talking about. However, you only see one of them, which is interesting.
Okay. So since I'm invisible, just to be safe, I try to first approach the guy and see if I can remove any magazines from the weapons just to disarm him.
Okay, so you were trying to disarm him and remove his ammunition.
Yes.
Let's call it a hard check.
Yeah.
However, what is going to happen is I'm going to escalate uh, the target number for the scene to 12, and now it's going to be a hard check of 15 or higher dex roll to do what you were trying to do. If you have any kind of equipment or abilities or spells or anything like that that could give you an edge, now would be the time to do it. You did get back a hero coin because you did roll a 1, uh, but let's hold on to that until we need it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't think the scan unit is going to be useful in this case, even if I run a scan, but
Hmm.
not sure if the I can use the unit to somehow uh, scan the guy itself and see if I can if the equipment has some kind of weakness or some better way to avoid the making noise.
Okay.
I don't know if the scan unit can be used like that.
So your scan unit, when you do a scan, the data collected that you gather reduces the current target by 1. So instead of 12, it would be 11, plus 3 would be 14. So it would be reduced by 1, making it potentially easier. Um, Infiltrator, invisible. Uh, yeah, I don't think scan unit's gonna help you out very much. So you're just gonna have to do this on your own reflexes,
Yeah.
it seems like. So
Yes.
may the dice be ever in your favor.
Yeah, especially now. So I guess it's a dexterity check.
Yep.
Okay. Of course. Let's reroll it with the hero coin because it's going to be a fail. Yeah, almost. Yeah, well, it was
Yeah,
worth it.
missed it by 1. So or missed it by 2 rather. Sorry. So, uh, because of how far you missed it, you don't necessarily go in and grab it. You're just unable to grab it because he is kind of shifting around. So when you like reach in for it, he shifts. And you're like, oh nope, hold on. Go back in, and he shifts again. You're like, oh nope, hold on. And you keep getting. And after a while, you kind of pick up on his shifting pattern, and he squats down to study the statue and like look at its base for some reason, and giving you another opportunity. This time it will be at the standard target of 12, dexterity roll. So um,
retry. Of course.
Wah, bah, 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 wah. Okay, so this time you failed, and he detects that something is going on. He stands up, whips around, and has his blast rifle pointing at the door, and he's like, "Who goes there? Identify yourself." And he's kind of looking through you or past you, and he doesn't notice that you're right there next to him.
Okay. So I could potentially walk behind him, basically going on the other side of the statue here.
Okay?
Uh, I don't know if I need to roll anything
Nope.
or
I'm gonna say that because you are still cloaked and he's making a lot of noise ruffling, you probably don't need to uh, make a dex check yet. If he was actively searching for you, then yes. But he is kind of in a panic state and is making a lot of noise and really be doesn't seem to know that you're there already. Can you move your token or am I?
yes,
Okay, cool.
yes.
Sorry, I've been moving it for you all night, and some people don't like it when you touch their tokens. Uh, so yeah, he's looking away from you. He's looking at the stairs where you came from, and doesn't know you're behind him. The door is still shut and the lights are on. What would you like to do?
Okay. Yeah. I would like to try for some offering, but I don't see what they could use. But I think it could be too dangerous to keep him around. So yeah, I guess I will try to attack him, but I will first freeze him.
Okay. Roll wisdom. So you can either roll wisdom or you can what's the other term for spell burn? It's in the advanced magic. Hold on.
Ah, yeah, I don't remember.
Uh,
The roller burn rule.
I think it's the burn. Let's see. Yeah, cast or roll to cast or burn. So you can either roll an int or you would have to roll your wisdom at the current target, or you can burn the spell, guaranteed cast, but you'd be unable to cast it for the rest of the day.
Okay, no, I'm a hoarder, so I'll try my luck.
Okay.
I have a good wisdom, so I think I can risk it.
All right, do it.
Okay, of course. Hero coin
Yeah, and you
one.
got that hero coin back. You're
It's
so
uh,
uh
it's terrible.
the spell doesn't come off. Well, the spell doesn't go off, but let's see if he detects it. So, we're gonna do our first fate question here. Does he? Does the merc detect the spell cast? No.
Okay,
He does not detect the spell being cast, and he's still just kind of pointing at the door. And he takes a few steps forward, and you see him just kind of looking at the door, looking around, and trying to figure out what's going on. Something weird's going on, and he doesn't know what it is yet.
okay. Well, I guess I can retry. I will work around him, behind him again.
Okay.
So I will go here. I'm imagining that he's looking towards the general direction here.
Yep, he's now looking back in that direction.
And yeah, the idea is to freeze again and see if it works.
Okay.
Uh, to be able to disarm him and maybe interrogate him. if I
Okay,
manage.
go ahead and do that.
Okay. 15.
You succeed. He freezes. He tries to scream, but he can't move. You can see his eyes looking around, and he realizes that something has happened. He's become the trap of, or the target of your trap. What do you do next?
Okay, I immediately remove any weapons that he has on himself.
It's kind of difficult because it's in his frozen cold hands, and he just looks at you as you're removing the blast rifle, his boot knife, and his backpack with pistol and stuff like that.
Okay, and yeah, I try to go to do the same approach with the scientist. So I don't know if I can just remain invisible just for sure, and but let the psionic knives be visible.
Okay.
And I basically pointed that at his throat
Okay.
and go, "What are you doing here?"
We're hunting for a device of some sort. You ain't gonna get it though. The boss has already been down there. I'm just up here trying to figure out what these things do.
Seems like you closed your boss inside.
Say that question again. I'm sorry.
Looks like you closed your boss inside.
Well, you do know doors open both ways. But yeah, I'm just up here. He's further on down. What are you gonna do? Kill me? I can't even see you. All you got is this little glowing butter knife.
You sure you want to to taste it? I tried like to intimidate him, basically.
Yeah, he wants to test it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I to to test it. Basically, I do a cut on one on his arm, or one of his arm, mostly to show how energy intense it is.
Okay. So you do that, and he sees it, and he's like, "I can't betray the boss. I can't do it. I'm gonna fight you. Once I free my mind, once I'm unfrozen, I'm gonna come and get you."
You're not helping yourself at all. So before we get to that, what's the deal with your mission? What are you searching for?
We're searching for some sort of mechanical device. The Empire says it'll help them win the war and finish the blockade on Sirocco.
Win the war against the Imperium. The Imperium. The- I think it's called the Imperium, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He said that he's working for the Imperium.
Ah, for the Imperium. Okay.
I think I said that. I don't remember now. But yes, he tells you that he's working for the Imperium and he's trying to get the device so that way the Imperium can win the war against the locals on Sirocco.
And that's where our basically objectives come a little bit in opposition.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do about it, glowing butter knife man?
And I try to basically stun him without the need to kill him.
Okay. Uh, so go ahead and roll a tool and effort roll, or tool and weapon roll, and see what that does.
Okay.
Yeah,
3.
3. All right. So you do a little nick on him, and he starts changing his tune real quick. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Who? Come on, man! We're all gonna work for the Imperium at some point. we could work together. We might be able to get the prize, get the money. We wouldn't even have to deal with the Imperium later.
Well, if you are the mercenary type like you're saying, what about working for me?
Well, I gotta get off this rock first, and I don't see it with much money on it.
You can choose. You you can be found here sleeping like a baby, or you can try for something a little bit more noble, more dignified instead of getting caught in the back by the butter knife man, like you said. Your choice.
Let's see.
The payment would be obviously after the job, but you help me, I help you.
Mm, he gets rude with you because he doesn't want to betray his current uh, leader. He tells you that he's wanting to finish the mission. If you work with me, we can get you paid, and then we both don't have to see each other again, and I don't have to be part of this style of living anymore. But if you just let me go, talk to the boss, we'll square everything out.
That looks enticing, but no thanks. And I don't know if I can retry to avoid killing him, to knock him out again, or
Do you want to try knocking him out? Okay.
yeah,
Yep. I'm gonna say it's gonna be the same as doing a regular attack. It's just non-lethal.
okay. I usually for the psionic knives, I think I use wisdom for doing. Oh wait, no, I read wrong. I get energy for the damage. So okay, yeah. So it's a normal strength check, right?
Um, Forming an energy melee weapon. Okay, so these would be a D10. Yes, you would be doing an energy effort with psionic blades.
Okay, so I do a strength check normally,
Um,
or directly for the effort.
let's see. So with melee weapons, you would use strength to do the attack, and then your D10 for energy, D10 for your effort.
Yeah. Do I need to roll for the attack? Just
Um, he's still frozen, so no. You just have to stab him.
okay. Okay, perfect. 4.
4 plus 3. He's not looking good. Uh, but he does. Let's ask. Does does he break free from the freeze? And we'll call that likely because you just stabbed him.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay, so he does break free. Your spell a freeze does cease working after you did injure him, and he turned around and now he's trying to engage you with his with it not his boot knife, but with his fists, and he's trying to punch you and engage with you. Um, let's do a d20 plus 2 merc melee attack.
that
I
one
don't
is
think a 5 is going to beat your defense, is it?
yeah, defense is 12.
Okay. So yeah, he swings at you a couple times, and you just deftly step back, and you're like, okay, dude, I got you. I've been doing this forever. So yeah, he swings at you, and now it's your turn to figure out what you're gonna do.
Okay, so at this point I continue engaging him and I try to do non-lethal and non-lethal if
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Yep.
So I'll strength check 15.
Yep. That hits.
Okay, and 3 energy for the damage.
Yep. That is enough to put him down. He does not die. You did non-lethal damage, but he is knocked out and is laying on his side. His face is down, but he's on his side, so like his back is twisted and stuff, and he's just kind of slumped over to the side on the ground now. Probably has a concussion from bouncing off the or like the stone and stuff, but he's still breathing, so you should be good to go from there. You did not kill him.
Sorry, man. Work is work.
Okay. So yeah, he is out of this fight,
Yeah.
and now you have the two doors, or the doors right over here to mess with. When you get to those doors, they're just regular doors and they open up. Um, Another thing you see, yeah, that doesn't add to the story. Never mind, you don't see that. That was a secret door that doesn't really provide anything. You would have avoided the weird guy in the first room encounter. Um, so yeah, there's this door here. When you get to the door, it opens effortlessly, and then you see a hallway that goes down some stairs and into another large chamber, very similar in shape to this one. If I can grab circles, there we go. That's not what I wanted. I wanted just these. There we go. Nice. Super nice when things work the way you expect them to. Okay,
Yeah.
so in this room, it is a large empty room, except for uh, this thing that you're going to see in a sec. So the thing that we are going to see, you see a little stream. Kind of running through here. And then there's a door here, which is not a stream. There's a grate
Okay.
here, but there's like bars and stuff, so you can't get through there. Um, and then there's another entrance or another waterway there that doesn't have bars. And you see a door at the end of this chamber that has stones in the way. And it looks like the hallway caved in over there.
Okay. From which part I'm entering?
You are entering from not that. Hold on. That's
Okay,
not.
here. Okay.
That is not the token I meant to choose. There we go. So yeah, you enter from the where you came in here.
Okay.
Um, as soon as you step in the door and leave the entryway, a gate seems to slam behind you, and you hear something that sounds like grinding stone.
Okay. Right. Okay. Nice. Okay, so I look around to see what's the sound coming from.
As you look up, you happen to see that the ceiling is collapsing. Uh, Not so much collapsing as it's pressing in on your position.
Okay. So, yeah, I say I sprint for the. I don't know if I can walk inside here where the waterway it goes on the other side of the exit the door
Hmm.
where there is no grate.
Okay. Yep. So if you were to sprint for that waterway, you would be able to get in through that water entrance there. And that
Yeah.
would be a far move to get from one side to the other. So your character would be able to go and jump in there and take the water down. As you do that, it it feels like a water slide of sorts, where you kind of twisted, turned a little bit, and um, at the end, oops, at the end you come out in another water-filled area. Um, go blue configure. So you come out in this corner over here. Not that, but this. Nope. Stop. There we go. So yeah, you come out in this corner here, and there's running water and stuff like that there. It looks like a wait. It looks like a pool of some sort. Um, However, as you come through, you noticed that the water doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and is now overflowing the pool in the corner, and is filling the room with water. Um,
Okay.
there is this part here. I'm gonna do this. This is not blue, but it's another doorway that looks like it was caved in and has piles of stones that you can potentially pick out. But then at the other end of the hallway, or the other end of the room, you see another door here, and it has some shapes on it. Go. Okay. Where'd my pictures go? Okay. Well, there's supposed to be more shapes and stuff, but I don't know where it went. Go. So there's a door here, and it looks like it has uh, 4 squares on it. Stupid door. Yeah. So this room is filling with water, and you see the door on the opposite side with 4 squares, and my puzzle trap should be fairly easy to figure out, hopefully. Oh.
Yeah, I don't guarantee anything about figuring out.
So the hallway behind you over here is blocked with stones. This pool
Okay.
here is overflowing with water because of your disturbance of the water flow. Um, and then you see this door on the other side that has a picture of 4 stones on it. And then underneath the water, you see uh, these decorative squares that look like they have like a circle button in the middle. I'll tell you this, you just go stand on them.
Yes. Well, it's quite inviting, let's say.
There you go.
Yeah.
As you
So
stand,
I try stepping on it
when you step
carefully.
when you step on it, you see one of the the squares on the door on the far side lights up, and then when you step off of it, it turns off.
Okay. So I like apart from this part with the water, is
Hmm.
there water already? A
Yes,
little
this
water
room is
everywhere.
filling with water.
Okay. So I was going to use the freeze to make blocks of ice, but they float, so yeah, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, I don't know if I can take some rocks from the breeze here
Hmm.
and put them as weights on all four of them.
As soon as you do, each one lights up, and then the door ahead of you slides open. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so you bypass that challenge. Hooray!
Went better than expected.
uh, keep picking those, and it's not a drawing. There we go. Okay, so down that door is a hallway, and as you get to the end of it, you see another hallway, another door, or another room. Whoa, shocker. And this time you see something that looks like um, big old pedestal, and it leads up to a small chair at the top with the thing that looks like an Easter egg or an egg with fire at the top. We're gonna have to shrink that up. And that's at the top of that stairs there. However, nothing is as easy as it could be. You have this guy at the end of the stairs there. Um, he seems to be eyeballing the it's not what I want. Too low. He seems to be eyeballing the egg, the relic, as you may call it. And he looks down at your location, but he doesn't see you because you're invisible. Um, what do you want to do?
Is he alone?
Um, as far as you could tell, yes. Um, just by visually looking. But if you want to do some sort of peeking, scouting, or some other maneuver, that's going to be a wisdom check.
Okay. Yeah, I try to do some more in-depth investigation about the situation, both the
Okay.
room and the guy itself.
Okay, so as you do, you happen to notice that there is another. Okay, so you did not scan the area. Ignore the guy over here that went invisible. Um, sorry, I got excited because I thought you had made it. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
unfortunately, it's a it. I was lagging only at the beginning of the evening.
as far as you can tell, it seems clear. However, you do notice um, some pillars around the outside of this room, and you see what looks like um, a couple weird shadows on the floor here, 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 and here. However, those look like burn marks for something happened at some point, and there are burn marks, and they look like shadows, but there's nothing there.
Okay.
Oh, and you do see this is going to be kind of hard to draw, but you do see something that comes down and piles up at the floor here, and it looks like it's made out of rope of some sort.
Okay.
And it goes up to a hole in the ceiling, like something got knocked out over the passage of time.
Okay. Okay. So while the guys is studying, I guess, the how to not to getting burned. Um, I don't know if I can use the scan unit on the egg itself to basically see if it can react to magnetic field. Like my idea would be to pick it up using in the salvage kit there are two magnet anchors. I don't know if I can use them like a some way to keep to bring out the egg without directly touching it.
Gotcha.
Don't know if it's
So you were
feasible to
told that it
do
was
it.
a crystal, and it is
Yeah.
not. It's probably not going to have too much magnetism. However, you do notice that he does have a blaster, which is probably made out of some sort of metal that you could pick up. Uh, when you run your scan unit, you do get detection of other traces of metallic objects within the room.
Okay. Yeah. The other metallic objects. Do I see like the the point of origin?
It's around the corner. Um, it seems to be behind a pillar. Um, you didn't see it the first time, but if you stick your head out again while invisible, you will see this gentleman over here just kind of wandering around and looking at the walls, looking at the pillars, looking at the decor, trying to figure out what's going on about this place. So there are two people in here. One of them has a blaster at the end of the on the dais, and then the other one closer to you has a blast rifle.
Okay. Well, this can be an issue. Okay. So I I guess trying to steal a run is not going to work with two 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 guys shooting. So what's the like if I look at the status of the columns, are they is there one that is not stable
Um, I don't know. Let's ask Mythic.
with guy mythic?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with unsure, chaos rank 6 because things are getting out of hand here. And we'll say, are any of the pillars um, loose or destructible? Probably
Okay.
not. So
Okay.
no.
Okay. And another thing that I could check if the rope is long enough to basically reach for this guy and like block him, tie him.
You're unsure just because the rope goes up into the darkness and you do see a hole in the ceiling, but you're not sure how much more rope there is or what it's tied to. What is on the ground here is probably about 5 foot of excess rope length.
Okay, so not much. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to uh, find a way to avoid a direct confrontation, but
Um,
Hmm.
Well, what kind of could you do a distraction? Could you subdue the guy in the back with the blast rifle?
Yeah,
Could
I
you
don't know. I don't know if I can try to subdue the rifle guy with like by without attracting the attention of the other.
I'll tell you, if you could describe to me how you're gonna do it, I will
Okay.
give you an easy roll, uh, without effort, and it's just gonna be a check. You do it or you don't.
Okay. So basically, the idea is to that Jack goes for basically behind him, and let me check. So let me see if I can use something here. Well, I have the hammer. Might be a little bit later, maybe, but maybe can help me. Uh, Basically, the idea is to not kill him again, and
Okay.
let's see if I manage to do the entire session without killing anyone.
Okay.
Um, so basically, the idea is to use the hammer since to basically hit him on the neck just enough to let him go down. And while doing this on with the other arm, I basically grab him to avoid him falling when doing noise. So I basically with a single movement, I go around him. I hit him on the neck with the hammer and gently put him on the ground.
Okay. I like it. So it's kind of like a judo chop with a hammer in the neck.
Yeah.
If you ever been hit in the neck with a hammer, it really hurts.
Fortunately, nope. But I think it works. I guess.
So yeah, it would totally work. Just because the shock, yeah, it would totally work. So yeah, let's do an easy dex roll or easy strength roll to be able to knock out this guy with a hammer non-lethally.
Yeah. I already see his brain all over. 12.
Nice. So you would have beaten the original target, but since it's easy, he just kind of goes down. Yeah. So this guy is now down for the count.
Okay, so I need to move him here.
Yeah. I don't have any since I didn't make him a token. I don't have any way to like put sleepy time on his face. So we just know that this guy is kind of on the ground. He's gonna go over here.
Okay. And yeah, so um, I don't know if I can use his equipment later. Think I will need to get rid of the other guy probably too. But yeah, let's do one thing at a time. So now I try to go near the other guy and do basically same same approach.
Okay. Uh, So yeah, make a dex check this time to be stealthy, um, and move yourself closer to him. Uh,
Okay,
Regardless of if you're stealthy or not, you're gonna get there. But we want to know if you're stealthy. Go ahead and roll a dex check. Nat
nice.
20. Boom, 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 boom. Brr, 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 brr. So he doesn't even notice that you're coming, and uh, I'm gonna say when you get an easy roll, this guy will require effort. However, you get to roll an ultimate plus your D6 for using a tool.
Okay, so I go directly for the effort, or do I need to do a strength check?
Yes, strength check,
Okay,
and it's gonna be easy, and then you roll the effort on top of that.
okay. So yeah,
Ugh,
5. So it's a fail.
that's
Yeah,
a fail,
it's a session of extremes.
right? Ugh. That's how it's me in Baldur's Gate. Playing Baldur's Gate, man, I haven't
Yeah,
passed a
yeah,
single frickin' skill check. I need to restart my game. Okay, moving on. Uh, yeah.
yeah. I get
So
the feeling.
you swing and you miss. Let's do a 2 and 6. Does he hear the roll? So, 2 in 6 to hear the missed swing. Wing. He does not hear you swing at him, and he just kind of looks around and he's like, "Must be breezy outside." And he goes back to like he goes in to reach for the relic or the artifact in front of him. Uh, so you have another action to you can do something. What do you want to do?
Yeah. If I want to kill him, I will let him basically push his arm to touch the egg, just to for a laugh. But no, I try again to knock him off, knock him
Okay.
out.
Um, Same thing. Roll your strength check at easy, and then I really want you
Uh,
to use that ultimate, so we're still gonna keep that ultimate as well. So go ahead and
yeah,
roll your strength at easy.
I did another five.
Another 5. Oh my god. Spend that
Only
hero coin. Just spend that hero coin.
yeah, it's a green, amazing. Okay, that's
Hooray!
fine.
Okay. So now roll that d6 plus a d12 for that amazing stealth check that has kept you so stealthily stealthed.
Weapons plus ultimate,
Oh
which
my
is
god. Reroll the ultimate.
oh yeah.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
is not a good session.
Okay.
Well, it's
So
7 total.
7 total. You whack him, but he does not go down, and he turns around and he's like, I knew someone was there, and he just pushes out in your direction and pushes you. Uh, Make a dexterity check to make sure you stay on your feet, but he does push you away, and your invisibility is broke or turned off.
Okay, 15 for the dexterity.
Nice. Okay, so you land on your feet, but you do land away from him down on the bottom of the dais, and he says, I see you. I knew someone was there. And he draws his blaster.
Yeah. Uh, does he
I
shoot?
s He does not shoot, just because you act first. I still
Okay.
think you could probably take him out in a non-lethal manner. It's just going to take a little bit of extra work.
Okay. So yeah, I freeze him. On basically, I try to freeze his ends.
Okay. Make your intelligence check at 12 or better, and then you would freeze him.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Nice.
You
Um,
can burn if you want. You could forget the spell and not cast it for the rest of the time until you take a long rest, just to freeze him, or you could suffer the consequence, not cast it, and move.
yeah, let's burn it.
Okay.
Like I push on the device. Sorry, yeah, on the device to make the freezer. Like I put it on overdrive so that it destroys itself, but it's super effective.
Yeah, when you do that, your arm device shorts out and it turns off. Uh, so you do freeze him. He looks at you and says, "When I get out of here, I am going to knock your ass out."
Sure, buddy. Sure, sure. I'm sure about it. But I what about your friends here? And I point at the burning marks on the ground.
I don't know what those are. Those are here when I got here.
And so, why didn't you pick the egg up?
Well, did you see the marks on the ground? You were suspicious too.
Well, I was hoping that you weren't. and I knock him out with the hammer.
All right. I'm not gonna make you roll just because like at this point I feel like if you were to have to roll, I felt kind of bad when we had to do it the last guy, so I'm not gonna have you do it this time. You just knock him out with a hammer. Because if I just had you roll effort, it's like watching somebody just beat a helpless person, and it's just like, ugh, why am I watching this? God, okay, fine. Uh, so yeah, you knock him out, and you catch his body before he. Are you gonna catch his body, or are you just gonna let him fall down the dais?
Uh, no, I catch his body just to avoid the risk that it touches the egg and it goes it burns away.
Okay. So yeah, you catch him and you move him out of the way.
Yeah,
Let's move
and
him.
yeah, I try to after that I listen a moment to see if I like awaken some other security from the rope from upstairs.
You hear nothing.
Okay, and so if all this is clear, I try to study a little a bit the egg to see if I can have some clues about how to handle it in a safe
Um,
way.
so the egg does. It's kind of floating from the pedestal that it's on, and you do see like a black finger mark or like a hand mark where somebody did try grabbing it, and then that's where you figure that that's where the shadows came from on the ground is someone tried grabbing it and there were people watching and they just went.
Okay. So I use from one of the guys I try to basically I take away his jacket, his shirt, some a textile,
Hmm.
and I basically I just to test I I I throw it on the egg to cover it just to see if it reacts to textile as well as what
Nothing
the actual.
happens.
Okay.
So you would be
Okay.
able to wrap the you would be able to like scoot the shirt underneath the egg and grab it with the shirt as low where like a basket and then make your exit.
Yeah, just to be safe, I do a double shirt, so I get the shirt from both the guys, and
Okay.
I wrap them both around the egg just to make some to have some more thickness,
Okay.
and
Uh
I put it in the in my bag.
okay. It's in your backpack now. You are free to do whatever you need to do. There is the rope that exits out, or you could try going back out the waterway that is sealed. That would require a ton of work, but this is probably the easiest way to get out.
Yeah, I try to go back to the waterway just to see if it's doable.
The water is coming out at a remarkably fast pace, um, and it doesn't seem like you could make it back up just because of the amount of water and how fast it is coming out. You could certainly try, but you do have to remember that the ceiling did collapse, and
Yeah.
then there was a metal gate that you had to work through, so you're not sure if you'd be able to uh, get back out, even if you were to get to that side.
Okay, so what I do, I return to the main room here, the deck room,
Okay.
the relic room, and what I do is I turn back invisible, obviously,
Hmm.
like it's the default state, and I search for the radio devices of the guys,
Hmm.
and I try to imitate the voice of the guy, the second guy that I heard, and basically I try to ask for backup, intruder alert, backup, and try to get someone to go down or as much as
You
possible.
No one responds, but on their personage, when you do search their bodies, you do find an auto repeller. So like you would attach it to your belt, and then you'd attach it to the rope, and it would pull you up or down.
Okay. So looks like it's all of them, strangely. Okay, so yeah, if no one responds and no one goes down, yeah, the idea was to let someone go down, and I go up and cut the rope.
Gotcha. But yeah,
But
no one responds, so it seems like you're alone for now.
okay, so yeah, I at this point I go up the rope, and I try to minimize the movement of the rope, but I don't think it's doable.
Yep, it's doable, especially with that auto repeller, and you're able to attach it to the rope, zip up to the top, and get to the climb out with minimal movement on the rope.
Okay,
Uh, when you get to the top, you realize that you're on the top of the cliff that, or the tall hill, or what would have been the cliffside where the entry to the building facility was, and there's a ship here, and it's just left running. Like they just kind of left their car running with the keys in it, and yeah, there's just a ship sitting there.
okay. So I try to look inside just to see if there is someone. Uh,
No, there's no one there. It's just that they left the ramp down because they figured that no one else was here, and just seemed like it was okay to leave the ship running.
okay. So I look inside and see if I guess they're mercenaries from what I understood, they're mercenaries from the for the Imperium,
Hmm.
and so they're technically colleagues, kind of. So I look at the onboard computer and try to catch any glimpse for intel that I can sell back for on the movements on the Imperium, some information that could be useful on the market.
Um, I don't know how to quantify that, so I'm going to say that you do find some information that you could probably sell and use against the Imperium in the fight again for Sirocco. So it would definitely be a boon that you could probably sell for more credits when you get back.
Okay, and apart from that, is this ship like better than the one I have?
I'd say it's pretty much on par. It's not any better. It's just different. It's a small, cramped ship with minimal living space and probably a little bit of a cargo bay. The cargo bay is a little bit bigger, but it's not anything too much to be worried about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I just I leave it there, but I just would do a small joke on them, just to I basically discharge the fuel of the ship just as much as needed, just to barely arrive to the next civilized planet.
Mm. So you just kind
Just
of
as a
you throttle it up a little bit, so it's not really going anywhere, but it's just like when you
yeah,
leave your foot on the gas and you're not really going anywhere. Like, well, I'm burning gas. Hmm.
yeah, that or just dropping it, just discharging it from the fuel from the from the tank. But yeah, whatever. So just that when they wake up, wake up again,
Okay.
they have enough fuel to get out of the planet and reach somewhere, but just barely, as
Okay.
a like a joke. I don't know a better word, but yeah,
I get what you're saying. It's kind of like a pity. I'd say a pity prank, or kind of like,
pretty frank.
I don't want to kill you, but I don't want you to chase me. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a little bit to get to where you need to go to live, but not necessarily be able to get after me.
Yeah, and I leave a small note on and handwritten note on the on inside the ship, and with written the butter knife guy was here.
Okay.
with a winking face, basically, drawn in.
Yep.
And
Got it.
then if everything is good, I go back to my ship and I try to retrieve the scientist.
Yep. When you get to your ship, you find the scientist. He wasn't as patient as you were telling him to be, and he's been trying to get into your ship for a bit. And he's like, "Dude, I thought you were gone forever. I was trying to get into your ship because I thought you were gonna be gone forever. I counted, and it's just we need to go. We need to go. We need to go. Where's? You're not dead. Where's those other people? I thought you had to fight those other people. What happened to them? I don't care. Let's get off the ship. Could we go, please?"
So I put a hand on his shoulder to calm him down a little bit. So uh, let me see if I understood correctly. So you were trying to get away and leave me here.
I thought I thought you were gone. Like I counted, and it was taking forever. Uh, and I thought you were gone, maybe dead. I heard some bangs, booms, and crunches downstairs. Like sounded like something was falling apart, and I thought you were dead. I really thought you were dead. People yelling. You have to be in my position here. Understand that I've been here forever. It feels like forever. It could have been a week. It could have been a month. I I don't know. Like it's so hard to tell. I'm losing hope. I need to get out of here.
Okay, so I I get him like I get back the timed keys
Hmm.
that I gave him. Okay, but until you calm down a little, it's better if you stay put. If you stay put,
On this
okay?
planet? What?
No, if you stay put on the ship, don't touch anything.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine you probably put him in one of the rooms and be like, "All right, this is your room now." Click, and then lock the door and be like, "Don't ever come back out."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just to be safe, that until he's calmed down and it tries to do something stupid. Just yeah, I lock him up. Yeah, I lock in the inside the one room and yeah, I try to reach back on Saraku,
All
right?
right.
The
Yeah. So
other
you were
room.
able to get back to Sirocco, and with that information that you had previously, make uh, a I need a navigation roll using your ship. Depending on how you go about navigating it, are you going to use the knowledge of this is what previously was there? Are you going to use the wisdom of it changes, the patrol routes change, so if I wait this long and it might be this here, I should be able to get through? Or do you want to like manually guide your ship through using dexterity or something like that?
Now I will try to use my computer to recalculate based on the data that I have on the patrol, and yeah, we go with wisdom.
Okay. So wisdom, go ahead and roll it. Boom.
23. Wow.
Nice. So your wisdom here proves successful again. You were able to calculate the shift in the change, the time changes and stuff from where you left and where you came back, and you're able to make it past the blockade and get back down to the surface. Um, you make your way back to the cantina of sorts, and yeah, inside the cantina, you find the gentleman that you were talking to previously, like 2 or 3 days ago, and he sees you. His eyes light up, and he's trying to mask his excitement and be like, "Did you find it? Did you find it?"
I don't see anything, but I slide the an empty bag with the bag, another bag with the egg inside and still wrapped around the shirts.
Okay.
And I slide it between me and him. And yeah, if I were you, I will not try to touch it. But as long as you have something between flesh and him. It's fine.
Understood. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you for retrieving this. I did not realize that it would be that volatile. Um, I will make sure to handle it with the appropriate precautions. And he picks it up by the shirt and stuff and puts it into his bag and reaches over and shakes your hand. And inside of his hand and your hand is a large credit chit, and it has the rest of your payment plus some extra on top of it.
I I look at the guy. Pleasure, always a pleasure to be of service. But tell me one thing. How do you plan to use that to change the planet? Because
So
seems like more a lighting machine than a device.
that's pretty much what we're gonna try and use it for, is to channel energy from inside the planet to kickstart the mantle and to uh, start churning and creating heat and revitalizing the moistures within the planet to bring back not just oases and pockets of oasis, but to revitalize the flora, the plants, and the um, greenhouses of this planet in order to bring back a verdant garden that this planet deserves to be, not racked by the Imperium for their selfish gains that we see no benefit from.
Seems like a good fight, and you have your ideas clear. But would you be interested in a scientist for your endeavors?
What kind of scientist?
Well, I found the get egg, but I've also find the scientist. He's a little bit nervous, but I think it could help him getting to work.
Are you lying to him, or are you do you genuinely believe that?
No, I believe him because like I want to get rid of this scientist in some way. So
Okay.
uh,
Um,
finding him a job could also help.
let's see. I'm gonna say make a charisma roll. However, now that we're back on a safe planet, the target has dropped back down to 10. Make a charisma roll to convince this guy that he needs extra help with his scientist groups.
7, of
7.
course.
Uh, oof. You got that hero coin, or did you use it already?
Used.
Ugh, gross. Okay. Um, so he kind of mulls it over and he's like, I don't know if I can use a scientist, especially one that was stranded on a planet. Uh, but we could definitely use him in other fields. We may be able to put him to work in a different field as well. Um, have him
Well,
meet me here. Have him meet me here, and I will find a way to put him to work.
okay.
And in the interest of uh, wrapping things up, what I'm going to say is you go back to your ship. You're able to you unlock the door, let this guy out, and you have to essentially walk him back because he does not have any courage to go anywhere after being abandoned. And you hand him to to this man who gave you the money, and somebody else comes out from behind and is like, "Oh, I think we can work with this man." And they take the scientist off of your hands.
Be careful with him. He's gone through a lot.
We'll make sure that he's okay. We'll make sure he gets the appropriate help and resocialization that he needs to be able to function properly. Uh,
And
that's
I
it.
guess after that, Drac returns to his beer and his delicacies from the tavern for the next job.
Nice. Yeah. So uh, as you do that, the camera pulls out of the tavern, down the street and kind of fades to black as you get your next job and eat your food and stuff. You have successfully found the resource that was stolen and needed to be used. So, congratulations, you have completed the mission. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here, and we can talk a bit.